My name's Chris.
And I'm Kristie.
This is the Washing Up Podcast. We weren't doing this.
No, we weren't. It's a very sad day.
It's sad. It's infuriating. It's rainbows. It's kittens. It's everything you want it to be. Really, it's just.
To be honest, it's the mixture of the two endings we predicted for Masterchef. One was the Khanh and Sashi, and the other was Ben and Chloe.
Yeah, and we ended up.
So we're essentially at good versus evil. Who will triumph?
And again, before people go, oh, you're calling that. We're not calling Ben evil. But
he personifies everything that's been wrong with this year, though. He
personifies repeating mediocrity until people think it's good.
Yes, he is the Trump administration, even though that's mediocre.
Now, there's actually a really good metaphor for this, though, because there was a conversation I read today, and all it talked about was the idea that, you know, Trump has done all this stuff to fix America, but he broke all that stuff first.
Yes.
So what he does is he breaks something and then repairs it and goes, look, I fixed problems.
But you know what one of his supporters tweeted out the other day? Oh, when was the last time you saw a school shooting? Hasn't been one of those lately. And someone's gone, summer vacation.
Yeah, they're all on holidays.
Yeah.
But with Ben, he was cooking really badly, and then he worked out that he could cook fish.
And a broth.
And he's done that, upping the number of carrots from 1 to 2 tonight.
Oh, look, he also turns up sometimes throw, red meat in there.
Occasionally. Apparently he made surf and turf tonight.
And look, Elena says that the broth was really, it was the bomb.
And I'll give him credit, but
it should be, because he's been fucking doing it for the past fucking 8 to 10 weeks.
And I'm sorry, I don't care how good the jus is. That's not surf and turf.
Nah.
It's fish and a beef broth. Right? It's not surf and turf. If I order surf and turf on the menu and that comes, I'm sending it back going, where's my steak? And don't tell me you've pureed it, because no. Tonight, we have to mention, we'll start with Khanh. Poor Khanh. It was a night for Khanh where everything that could go wrong did.
Yes, it was, and he broke early, and they kept showing too many flashbacks of his childhood.
They were showing lots of childhood cuts, and I think I tweeted after the second one, I'm now really worried for Khanh, because I think that's really worrying. He burnt his fish, which is where we were introduced to the concept of Shannon deciding that he was going to be a dick tonight.
No, he's been a dick all fucking night.
Khanh, you've burnt your fish. You've burnt. Khanh can't see the fact that he's burnt fish.
No shit, Sherlock.
And Shannon is just yelling at him, you've burnt the fish.
Yes.
What is he supposed to do with this information that he already has? You know, that's like saying, Khanh, you're on Masterchef. Right now, there are cameras. Yes, it's Masterchef.
Khanh, you're not breathing deeply. Khanh, do you piss standing up? Because you better be pissing standing up. Are you shitting sitting down, Khanh? Are you shitting sitting down?
And then they made a big deal about the mousse and said the mousse was too heavy. It was on the bottom, who cares? But also, Elena also tweeted out that she tasted it and it was really good. But look, he burnt the fish. There were a couple of issues there. Okay, fair enough. But
yes.
The main reason we have to talk about tonight is two things. The first is Ben. We've sort of gone a little bit. The second is Sashi.
Oh, mister, I cannot cook chicken correctly, Sashi.
Okay, I don't believe that Sashi can actually cook chicken in a way that will appease the judges. No. Last night they complained that it was too sophisticated.
Tonight, too homely.
They basically requested an entire roast chicken in the middle of their curry, which is a ridiculous concept.
Yeah.
Shannon told him off for the idea of putting a chicken drumstick in the curry. So he follows what Shannon says, and they complain there wasn't enough, and they could have done with something like, a drumstick. But also, they complain about the drumstick and complaining about the size of the portions, and Ben serves this tiny fucking sliver of the fish, and it's sophisticated.
Oh, but he served it with a puree, and not one, but 2 carrots. He's elevated it. Because last night he only served it with 1 carrot.
Tomorrow night's
no
3.
Puree.
Tomorrow night's 3.
Yep, my prediction is Ben wins with a fish, and a broth with puree, but not 1, not 2, but 3 carrots.
3 different colours?
3 different colours.
3 different colours, there we go.
Genius, elevation, never seen anything like it.
Look, the meringue he made for the pav looked good, but it's not a pav.
It's meringue with ice cream.
It was a meringue. And by the way, the fact that he got a standing ovation from the gantry for making a meringue in the semi-final is a bit concerning to me as somebody who watches this show. I mean, if I'm watching this show, I'm expecting at this point you can make a meringue.
I did love Honey Child's Creole Corner. Tony Burnett Rands tonight, who basically called Ben's fish dish cafeteria fish. And I think that just sums it up, you know. He's like, oh, this is inspired by my local RSL. Get it, Ben. You're a true blue Aussie dude. Oh, sorry, bloke. Don't want to Americanise it there because, you know, you're an Aussie. I think what I'd like to say as well is to all the people enjoying the Schadenfreude, knowing that Khan's gone home, knowing that we're heartbroken, lap it up, enjoy it, because we know what's going to happen. Sashi is going to take Ben, bend him over the bench, and cook him.
And cook him in the hey! So, all right, so let's...
But you know what's going to happen then in the future? Sashi's going to be forgotten, but Ben's going to be invited back to bro out with the judges.
They'll bring him back as next year's Shannon Bennett.
And he'll get a sponsorship deal, so he'll be the new Cobram Estate or...
All right, so to talk about Sashi, so...
Yeah. Probably John West.
They did... would make sense. So that they've spent this show belittling Sashi in the second half of it. The first half, it was weird. And again, we criticised early on about Sashi, but the criticisms about Sashi, and we said, were not about Sashi's cooking or abilities. It was the way they treated him with the double pins. And the fact that first pin in particular wasn't
warranted.
His and shouldn't have been his.
It should have been Samira's.
But it's almost like after he got the 2 pins, they went, oh shit, we shouldn't have done that. And they've done a complete 180 and decided, right, we're just going to batter it out of him now.
Yeah.
And that's, again, to go the opposite way on him for no real reason. He didn't change anything in terms of he didn't start cooking badly. He didn't change the flavour profiles. When he tried to extend himself, they did tell him off, which is part of the problem with the show. But they've gone from you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great, to we want more. And what seems to be happening right now was tonight, and it felt like this for the judging. First of all, the judging, they couldn't wait to compete about how amazing they think Ben is.
Oh, his fish dish. Oh, this is perfect. Fish is cooked perfectly. Broth is perfect. Oh, my God, Ben's perfect. Oh, my God, I have a whole shrine dedicated to Ben. How about you? Oh, I've got a photo of Ben in my wallet. Oh, it's beautiful.
There were a number of Twitter meltdowns that I thought were absolutely perfect. The best one of those was talking about the idea of Gary and George. I can't remember who it was, but if I find it beforehand, I'll give credit. If it's you and you're listening, call me out on Twitter and I'll give you the shout out for it. But it was, Gary, I love Ben. George, I love Ben more. Matt, I'm wearing purple because it's Ben's favourite colour. It was a bit like that, and that was, it was overboard. The second thing to note about this when they did the judging was I felt that Khan and Sashi both felt the weight of expectation. It's almost like they're judging from a completely different hymn sheet in terms of they've set Ben's level down.
Yeah.
They've set what they expect from Sashi and Khan up.
Yeah.
And they're judging them from different spectrums.
Yeah.
They're remembering that Ben's that guy that made that Lamington. And the other two have made these amazing dishes. And they're judging them from different views.
I think it's less about looking at Ben's past cooks and probably putting it into a cultural significance. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ben's a white male. He can serve mediocrity and will be hailed as genius.
I agree. But again, I think there is an element of it too that is based off what they've done previously in this competition. Yeah. They've set high expectations for the first two and then they've set low expectations for Ben. And he keeps jumping over that low hoop and they're judging him accordingly. And they're judging the other two based off, it's good, I'm expecting great.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It's a weird sliding scale they're judging off, and that leads us to the grand final. Words I never thought I'd be uttering. It's Ben versus Sashi.
Yeah.
And look, I'm going to be upfront. It's pretty damn obvious. really want Sashi to win it.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm worried though, because if for example they gave them a recipe to follow for something and it's one of Heston Blumenthal's, Sashi's coming at it from an English, being his second language.
true.
And we've seen him struggle with following recipes before.
True. But if it's a Heston recipe, the instruction could be turn the llama inside out. And I don't care what language you speak, that's a pretty fucked up instruction.
Yeah.
So with Heston as well, there's technique involved.
Yeah.
And Sashi has really good technique in most things.
Yeah.
And also there is a savoury component at the start too.
But the thing is...
And if it's not fish, it's Sashi's playground.
But I think as well, and it's something I said earlier, is that Ben is a slow burn, and if he gets the longevity, he will build the skills. And I think that there's a good chance he'll show those skills tomorrow night. Okay,
so we're not making this a long one because you don't need a long one from us because that's tomorrow night, which will be long. And
the highlight of tonight was really seeing Nathan Harvey's Trent Harvey's transformation from Lannister to Tormund from Game of Thrones.
That was wonderful. Look, I did say on Twitter that it was nice, and I said to Elena on Twitter that it was nice to see the beard. It looked like it's trying to get him more screen time. Finally, they've recognised him.
Yeah.
For me, we got to see Elena. We got to see
Ben Ungerman.
Gaston was there. We got to see
Alice in Frames.
Yes, we got to see Alice, which was wonderful. We got to see Eloise. We got to see Aram. Callum was there as well.
Yeah, Tamara.
It was great. It was good to see those people, and that made me happy for a brief moment until Khan burned his fish, and then I cried. Look, another word quickly about Khan before we wrap this up. Khan, you're an absolute champion.
Joy to watch.
And we often say about this that winning the competition isn't necessarily always the best thing because you get the ability, if you don't win, to develop your skills then outside on your own and take your own path. Yeah. And I think that Khan will find his own path quite well, much like we said Jess will find her path quite well. And I think that will help both of them to take off in the future. But I think Khan's got a huge future in whatever he does. Yeah. Just a shame he's got no personality.
I know. It's really difficult for him. Maybe a bit of, like media training or something. Really,
something to bring him out of his shell because he's such a shy, retiring wallflower. I'm going to miss the Khan memes.
Yeah,
I'm going to miss Khan's created memes of his own photos. Like Khan has created some of the greatest memes, and also again his love of mushrooms will live on long after the commercial with the guy going, "No wonder their meat for vegetarians has died off."
Yeah,
and
and like tonight, it really brought home how fraught this season of MasterChef has been because like the love of cooks like Khan makes me want to go back and keep watching MasterChef to see their development. But I'm struggling with the overall structure
and the overboard way that if they could have tonight, they would have handed Ben the trophy tonight.
Yep.
And it didn't matter what they saw before they tasted it. If you listen to the verbiage, if you listen to the way they talk before they even tasted it, and I go, eat with your eyes. His first dish didn't look that good.
Now, if we look at it right, Khan served fish and broth, and they're like, this is a bit basic.
Yeah.
Did Khan need to serve a fucking puree with it to
they talked about the fact that it lacked a bit of grunt. And like Khan had noodle and he had all different sorts of spices and different veggies, a mixture of things. It lacked that, that body. And like
celeriac puree, apparently.
Ben made a puree and
2 carrots. Don't want to.
Don't go past
last night.
Don't keep that powder dry for tomorrow night. So overall, the other thing was Ben got a lot of talk through at one point tonight. He got a lot of talk through. Thankfully, towards the end, they did balance it a little bit when they started reminding everyone to season. But that was the only time they showed that. So look, tomorrow night it'll be an interesting final. Twitter. Look, for anyone who listens to this and goes, you guys are just this or you guys are just that, take a look at social media.
Yeah.
We are not voicing things that are in a minority view.
Yeah.
And if there are that many people voicing this view, what I would ask you to do is look think to yourself, why are people voicing this view, and is there a reason for it?
Yeah.
And I hope that the producers in the off season, let's call it the off season, in the downtime between series, I do hope they actually do a proper reevaluation of the series.
Yeah, work out how to put the love back.
Because
into
look,
it.
I really want
fairness.
I really want Sashi to win because he's a great cook. If Sashi wins, I'll be very happy, but it doesn't erase the problems of the series.
And if Ben wins, well, it will just be
confirming a lot of the problems of the series.
A lot of problems. So
all right. So with that in mind, we're back tomorrow night.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully in a better mood.
Oh yeah.
We weren't going to do this, but we needed to do an instant shot on this. And there were lots of people tweeting us going, "You need to do one." Yeah. So we needed to get on and do one.
The fans ask, and we cannot but just
now
reply.
Tomorrow night will also be the
for you.
Tomorrow night will also be the drawing of the gift.
Oh, that's exciting!
That is exciting. That is something to get excited about. There's still time. Quickly go over to our Facebook page, like us on Facebook. Comment on one of the statuses about the mystery boxes. You might need to go back and work out what they were. But you've got to pair an Ungerman Brothers ice cream with one of those mystery boxes on our Facebook page, and you can go in the running to receive the gift, a signed apron by Gaston himself, Ben Ungerman. So that will be happening tomorrow.
Yeah, even our cat Senator's excited.
Our cat in the background is excited too. So on that, I'm still Chris.
I'm still Kristie.
See you tomorrow night.
Ciao, ciao.